Good evening to those who listen. It's April 2nd, 2024, 8:48 p.m. And before I can even get to redoing the other video from that Netflix series, Three Body Problem, I have to do another video in between because I just found some information out that is more craziness that involves the eclipse. Everyone's going to say, see, nothing happened during the eclipse, but it doesn't have to happen on the same day. All right, so this is from Three Body Problem. I don't even know what episode this is from. I haven't got there yet. I've only watched the first 2 episodes. But in this scene here, they're showing something. I'm not sure if it's rockets, but there's payloads. And they're showing the path of this thing, which if you look at the path, it kind of looks like the eclipse path, which is crazy. But they got different stages of deployment of these, of whatever they're doing with these payloads, right? And they got 5 in here. But now, hold on. All right, so I'm back now. Now we're at JWTV. If you haven't seen him and you haven't watched his videos, you gotta watch them. They're really good. And it's all about what's going on with everything. Now, this guy here, this is off-grid survival or something like that? Maybe he'll say it in here. Let me go back one spot real fast.
Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all of you and all the new people here and everybody who's been a core audience. Let's check this video out.
Maybe I got to go back for a second. I want to give credit where credit is due.
The story, though, that I want you to see here.
All right, there it
is the.
Okay, so this is. Oh, don't say. I think it's off-grid survivalist. I can't remember for sure, but I've seen some of his videos. Very, very good, very smart guy. But he's got some information, and in it, just ahead of time, he says he doesn't know if any of this is true, and same with me. I don't know if this is true or not, but it sure fits a scenario. It fits a scenario perfectly. So all this stuff is just speculation, throwing it out there stuff, but it's definitely all possible. All right, let's listen to what he has to say here.
Happen, right? You're putting out a lot of signals out there. Now listen, this is a warning from the Secret Intelligence League planned April 8th solar eclipse biological attack. I don't know if any of this stuff is true. I'm just sharing with you what somebody sent to me. You guys please make your plans accordingly. They're planning a biological attack on April 8th, just before the total eclipse. This is how it's going to go down. Planes will be delivering their payload. Planes will be delivering their payload in 3 intervals. First will be 2 hours before totality, a 1 hour before totality, and a final one 30 minutes before totality.
So there's one thing right there when he said payload, and then I saw the thing. It just came up in my feed, the Mojo thing. They go through a lot of stuff, and they go through a lot of hidden messages in TV shows and stuff and movies. And they just put that out with some of the stuff you might have missed from the series. Well, I haven't watched the whole series yet, but I went ahead and watched it anyway because I wanted to see if there was anything that might relate to everything that's going on. And oh my, the payloads. So they got the payloads in that one thing. I don't know what they were releasing in the TV show, but the payloads here, listen.
Their payload in 3 intervals. First will be 2 hours before totality, a 1 hour before totality, and a final one 30 minutes before totality. The planes will be deploying a dry powder bacterial weapon.
Wow.
I don't know if any of this stuff is true. Again, I'm just reading this, what's been sent to me. I don't know if any of this stuff is true, okay? But please, err on the side of caution. It will not be visible. You won't be able to see it from the planes in the sky. It's meant to infect those through aerosol delivery. The first 2 planes will be set at the standard altitude. The final plane will be set at approximately 10 to 15,000 feet. The path of the flight will begin in the northeast, and it will travel down the central path of totality.
So that's another weird thing. it says they're going to fly the planes from the northeast, the opposite direction of the path of the eclipse, and it's going to go all the way down through the south. I thought that was odd, but maybe there's a reason for that.
West, southwest, keeping in place the totality of the eclipse. They're going to take this in the advantage in the event, because they know they're guaranteed targets that will be infected, and thus the vectors to spread the contagion. Symptoms will be appearing 7 to 10 days after infection, 30 days after infection. The media will notice 60 days after infection, panic an all-time high, 90 days after infection, newly agreed upon UN WHO pandemic.
So now listen, I'm going to play that one more time.
West, southwest, keeping in place the totality of the eclipse. They're going to take this in the advantage in the event, because they know they're guaranteed targets that will be infected, and thus the vectors to spread the contagion. Symptoms will be appearing 7 to 10 days after.
So 7 to 10 days after people start showing symptoms.
Infection, 30 days after
30 days after the media starts noticing. Like,
infection, the media will notice 60 days after infection.
60 days in, then suddenly I'm guessing panic sets in, and then there's, a pan, you know what, dem, ick. And then 90 days after, that's when the WHO takes over. Wow. Now, going on. Is this it?
Yes, they did talk about it.
That's not it. Hold on, I'll get to it. Let me pause you.
Aerial spray
So
maintenance
he
flight.
goes on saying
And
that
the Air Force created
the Air Force can use these Hercules planes to deliver this aerosols. And what's weird is this one was from March 25th. And we also got the NASA and these colleges that are sending up weather balloons that are releasing bacteria in the air. Don't worry, it's harmless, but they're doing that too. They're going across the opposite direction. I don't know, it's just crazy. So they already did a test on March 21st. I'll just leave that up there so you can read it real fast. So they've already been testing this. So they're going to have planes flying over, releasing this. Who knows what it's going to be in there, right? But I think I have an idea what could be there. Disease X.
mortality. So let's look into that. Let's look into that right now. It says the eclipse 11:20 a.m. local time. So that would mean it would be 9:25 a.m. when the first spring operation is supposed to start. The intel that Doug and Stacy got is correct or accurate. Now going into this deeper here, where we talk about the scenarios at hand, since we're talking about UN WHO enacting a pandemic. So here's a storyline. April 29th.
All right, so here we go. The WHO and the member states. Remember all this agreements that had all the countries of the world had to sign this to give over their sovereignty to the WHO, so that if there was ever another, then they would have control over what is to be done in each different country. And look at, they're supposed to be finalizing this April 29th to May 10th. The eclipse is April 8th. And then May 10th is supposedly the last day to have everybody signing up for this. So that's a month. We have 7 to 10 days, shows the symptoms, 30 days, the media notices, 60 days, panic sets in, and 90 days, the WHO takes over. It all fits in the scenario. Not saying that this is all going to happen, but it sure fits. It sure fits like a glove. And all these shows and movies are showing, all this predictive programming in there. But, just imagine. You got the eclipse. You got all these people. There's 31 million people that live in the path of totality. You got another almost 4 million people traveling from all around the world to go to these places. And then they get the people to wear the red and the green. They release some aerosols from planes and maybe from balloons even. People breathe it in. Disease X is started. And then everyone will say, oh, nothing happened on the eclipse. See? But then meanwhile, it's in their systems and it takes 7 to 10 days for them to start showing the symptoms. They finally get to go back home now. They go back home and people live all around the world and they're spreading it all over the world. Now we have, and oh my goodness, it's out of control. So who's got to take over? Who's going to take over? Yes, who? So then no one has a say. So they can do whatever they want. Oh, a country, this country is just nothing but sick people. They're all dying. We don't want them to spread it to other countries. Well, what should we do? They'll just drop. Not saying that's what's going to happen. But I'm just saying, if they have control, they can do whatever the heck they want with any country, depending on, what's going on in the country. But I've already kind of put this out there. This is a little different now, and now more channels and more things are happening where it fits even more. What a perfect way to start a disease. Disease X. Get everybody all hyped up about an event like a solar eclipse. Get them all together in big crowds. And don't forget the cell phones. They said cell phones are supposed to go out. So they have to bring in trucks with big antennas so they can boost the signal. Boost those frequencies around. So who knows, that could activate something. Maybe the whatever that they're releasing into the air that people are breathing in, maybe it gets activated by frequencies. Or maybe the people that have already had the jibby jab, they're activated. Sounds like a horror movie, but it's all right there. Let me know what you guys think about this. We literally have a week to go. 6 days to the eclipse. 7 days to April 9th, the prediction that was in the 3-body problem. And then we have all the weird predictive programming from the Leave the World Behind. That one, they have a civil WAR going on. I don't know. I'm just saying the stage is there. It's set. It could all happen like this. Not saying it's going to, but it's sure there. Thanks for watching. God bless.